Welcome. Before we begin, a brief caution. Some of the movements and exercises in the video may not be suitable for everyone. If you have any questions or concerns about your ability to safely perform these exercises and movements, please stop immediately, consult with the appropriate member of your healthcare team, and only proceed when all of your questions and concerns have been appropriately addressed. And now, let's dive in. We're learning the basic 6 forms of Dr. Paul Lamb's TCA set. In this video, we're going to explore wave hands like clouds, which is a little bit more challenging a move than the first 3, but you've gotten this far, so we're going to be able to do this as well. So let me first demonstrate it without talking from a couple different angles, just to get us on the same page as to what we're looking to do. Our starting position, we had just completed our single whip to the right. Let me do it now from the side view. So. And now from the back view. Okay, so since there's a number of things going on here, I'm going to separate the footwork from the handwork, and then we'll put it back together at the end. Okay, so to begin, we were in single whip, and 70% of the weight is on this front leg, 30% is on that back leg. The first thing I'm doing is I'm going to be pouring the weight back into this back leg. So I'm going to drop my hands and just pour the weight back into that left leg. Now, 100% of the weight is on the back leg, the left leg, and I'm going to be able to step in. It's actually sort of a sweep when we do it. And this is an empty step. There's no weight on it. My front of my foot is down. The back of my foot is up a little bit from the side. What that looks like is, so you can see that all the weight remains on the left. Next, we step out and we'll begin to do our first move to the right, and I'm gradually shifting my weight over here so I can take a step to the right with my left leg. And now the weight is pouring back into the left, so I can take another step with the right. And now the weight is pouring into the right, step left. And the same thing, weight into the left, step right, weight into the right leg, so I can step to the right with the left leg. So it may get a little confusing with all those right and lefts, but all the steps are to the right. We're all going to the right. So there's, it's left leg, the right leg, doesn't matter. We're stepping to the right. And what we're doing is we're stepping parallel. So what we're endeavoring to do is to put the weight into the leg, step about this far, not a great big step. Front of the foot touches down on parallel steps, and then the back of the foot. And then we can put weight in that foot. We peel up the heel on this foot, touch down the front. And what I'd like you to focus on is with every pair of steps that we travel to the right, that we end up with our feet roughly shoulder width. And that will give you a nice, stable, secure balance. And if you've got a tile floor like this, with the grout lines, it makes it easy for you to be able to check how parallel your stepping is. But please stop before you look down. Don't be looking down while you're in motion. So my approach to this move, I would suggest that you just want to get comfortable with this footwork. Coming in, step, step, another step, and step, and another step, and step. Footwork is not actually that complicated once you isolate it and break it out. Okay? So once you've got the footwork solidly in the brain, let's talk about the hands. Looks like the hands are doing a lot, but actually it's not as complicated as it seems. A lot of people try to make it harder than it is. So our opening hand position, we were in that end of the single whip, and we swept our right hand and our right foot in. So now ignore the feet, we'll just focus on this. You can also do the hand part learning sitting in a chair, which takes away all of the concerns about balance and stepping and this and that, and may be easier for many people to just focus on the hands, but you can do it standing as well. My opening hand position, this hand, which has not really traveled very much. It's come in a little bit as I swept the right hand in. So now my right palm is on the inside of my left elbow. From the side, what this looks like. We sort of came in here. So the left hand dropped a tiny little bit and came in. It's the right hand that's doing most of the work now. Okay. So another important rule is that whatever hand is on top, that's the direction we'll travel in. So when I switch the hands, now the right hand's on top, palm facing out, the left hand, palm facing down. Since the right hand is on top, I turn to the right. When I switch the hands, the left hand is on top, so now I'm going to turn to the left. So that's that simple, whichever hand is on top, that's the direction you travel. And then the other thing I like to visualize is that there's a thread between my two thumbs. It's a loosely tied. It's to remind me that the hands travel together. So right now, if you imagine there's a thread between the hands here for the opening position, and then I switch and the thread is still there. So as the top hand is moving and I'm looking out over it, the bottom hand is not getting left behind. They travel together. And when I get here, I switch and I come back the other way, and they're still traveling together. Okay? So the mission of the bottom hand is to have the palm down. The mission of the top hand, have the palm facing out, and the hands travel together. I turn to follow my hand, so my torso is actually doing most of the turning here, not the hands. And I'm looking out over the fingertips of the top hand. I'm not staring at the hand, I'm looking out beyond it at the near horizon in a nice unfocused Tai Chi sort of glance. You'll hear us say an unfocused glance a lot because we're not really focusing on anything. We're just in the flow. Let's look at what this looks like from the side. Our hands are here, so we switch and we turn. As I get to about where my pockets are, remember that warm-up exercise when we're going back and forth with the ball? Same exact principle here. We're turning around our central axis line to be precise. And so we come back this way. Now the right hand is back on top, so I'm turning to the right. Left hand on top, turning to the left. From behind, what this looks like. Switch, turn. There's a very simple pattern here where we switch the hands, we turn, we switch the hands, and we turn. So, as I say, it can look a lot more complicated than it really is, okay? So now, let's put the hands and the footwork back together. So our starting position was that single whip. We put the weight in the left and we sweep in the right hand and the right foot. Sometimes I like to imagine there's a little string between this thumb and my right big toe to remind me they come in together. So the first thing I'm going to do, since all the weight is in the left, I can step out with the right. When my heel of the foot that moved, in this case the right, hits the ground, that's my cue to switch my hands. Now, since the right hand is on top, I'm turning to the right. Weight pours over into the right leg, so I can step with the left. Switch the hands. Left is on top, so I turn to the left. Pour the weight into the left leg, so I can step with the right. Switch the hands, and I'm turning to the right. Weight in the right, switch, and I turn. Switch, turn. Shift the weight, switch, turn. This is the third one. So as the top hand is crossing the center line, it's starting to turn the palm in, and my right hand is slowly drifting up as the right hand comes back a little bit, and that'll set us up for the next move, which happens to be open and close. So let's look at this from the side. We sweep in, we step, we switch, we turn, step, switch, turn, step, switch, turn, step, switch, turn, step, switch, turn. And then the right hand drifts up, and we're ready for the next move. And let's look at it from the back. We sweep in, step, switch, turn, step, switch, turn. That's one complete cycle. Step, switch, turn, step, switch, turn. That's two cycles. Step, switch, turn, step, switch, turn. As we cross that center line, the left palm turns in, the right hand drifts up, and we're ready for the open and close that will follow. So, looks like a complicated move. There is a lot going on. but you break it down into small pieces. Some people can't learn separately. They've got to do hands and feet together. And so then you just break it down into, and don't try to rush it. Most people seem to respond best to doing the footwork and then doing the hands, and it doesn't matter really which one you start with, but you want to have one of them nailed down so that you don't have to worry too much about it while you're focusing on the other one, and then you put them together. So good luck. This one you need to practice a little bit, but I'm sure it'll all work out well. I'll see you in the next video.